What's happening, everybody? It's time for an evening edition of the Daily Truth. I slept in again today. I'm feeling almost better. I'm almost there. Anyways, like this video, share this video, do all things with this video. I know I got to be 100% or close to it by Saturday. So I've been trying to rest, not doing a great job. I've been working throughout the day. Just haven't been. It's not, Casey, even though that sun kind of looks like the light shining through. Couple truths before we get into the actual truth. As Cash will tell you, don't flush an apple down the toilet. Becomes quite the issue. Sorry, buddy. Sorry that you're going through that. It's not funny to you, but it is comical to us. I can't imagine what you're going through, and I pray for Cash getting the apple out of the toilet. Anyways, put some comments. Let me know where you're watching. I know this is a 7 p.m. version of the Daily Truth. I got up this morning at about 9:30, and I've been working ever since. But I've been trying to also be a little bit relaxed. Good day. Just need to get better. All right. What's up, David? I see probably a bunch of people that aren't usually able to watch in the morning get to see it now. So let's talk. Today's a political one because I've been waiting to talk more about the debate. And there's a point to this above and beyond the political aspect because there's an analogy about life that I want to make in terms of the concept of preparation. And Trump went into the debate, and I was hoping that it was a little bit of a gamesmanship where he's like, I don't need to prepare. It's just a conversation. I don't prepare. And she spent 5 days in a closed room with paid actors pretending to be Donald Trump, and they asked all the very specific questions. Did she have the questions prepped exactly? Possibly. Different question. That's a different question for a different day. I mean, the thing is, if you've got a good debate team, first off, knowing if you do know the exact questions, that's not fair. If you also know you're not going to be challenged, that's not fair either. But with all of that said, look, I, I get paid to speak. I'm a speaker. I'm pretty decent at it. I'm not the world's best. I don't even know if I'd be considered elite. I had a cold and I was watching it, and I legitimately can tell you that all of the areas that he missed, I was ready to answer. I wanted to be in the room and actually answer the questions. And it wasn't about what Kamala said, it was about when he had questions that really truly involved policy. Trump didn't answer them. If you want my honest opinion after watching it a second time, I think I originally said Trump won by a nose. Trump did not win that debate, did not win at all. And Matthew's right. I see Matthew's comment 3-on-1. It was. You could have given me the 3-on-1, but here's the ultimate problem. If you're prepared, ready to answer all the questions, and not the questions that necessarily are cheating, but you know what they're going to ask. You could put together 30 questions and you prepare. And a debate is important because right now, I'm not going to lie, I have trouble looking at people in the face that are on the opposite side of me and giving them a, yeah, well, look what he did. The only thing I can say is, and be honest, is Trump did not do well in that. I'd give him a D is what I said. And the thing is, Kamala didn't do anything great either because she never had any points. She didn't answer a real question, but she was poised, she was polished, she was articulate. She had a point behind some of the things she was saying. She just didn't have a platform or like an actual purpose, but she created, it was really good word salad. And that was the thing. I she can't stand on a record in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion. Most people that follow my pages understand my politics, or know my politics, maybe not understand my politics. But the key behind this is he didn't prepare. Whether she had the exact questions or whether it was 3 or 1 or not, I could have demolished Kamala Harris based on simple things. Like there were simple things that I knew. You know these things off the top of your head. Like Rose said, like this, share this, do all the things with this video. You know things off the top of your head. Like for a fact, the $50,000 tax credit for new businesses is painful to hear because it's not what people think it is. It's actually far from it. $50,000 tax credit your first year in business sounds like this. Oh my God, we're pushing the American dream. And Trump is a businessman that knows entrepreneurialism. Why he didn't answer with Econ 101 to say, so you're assuming that all these businesses are going to be making $50,000 of profit, their first year. Do you have any businesses don't make $50,000 of profit their first year? 90, it's over 90. I'm not going to give the exact, but it's over 90% of businesses. So you're speaking to the 10% or less. And if you're speaking to that less than 10%, Then there's a corporate tax that she's actually planned on increasing, that she's talked about, that you could bring up, and you talk about the basics of that corporate tax. And you say, well, over if they go to 20% or even the 28% they might go to, those businesses that are making money, say they make $200,000 profit their second year, they're going to be paying probably 10 to 15 or even $20,000 more in taxes because of that corporate tax rate. So they just lost all that $50,000 tax credit. And that $50,000 tax credit doesn't mean that it's $50,000 in your pocket. It means you don't have to pay taxes on it, which is actually about a 12, 13, 14, $15,000 savings. So it's erased in one good year, definitely over 5. There was so many, and that's just one example. That's just one example that he could have done along the way. And there's many, many, many more. He got ruffled and rattled by the comment about the rallies. So I guess today's daily truth is about two things: ego and preparation. Always prepare. And when it comes to it, if you are not well prepared, your ego can get in the way. If your ego is the reason you don't prepare, then guess what? All of that is working against you. And we live in a very competitive world. So now we're getting out of the debate space. And I'm talking about you. I'm talking about how you go through life and how you live life. The more prepared you are, the less you feel as though you need your ego. The more that you can connect with the people that you are working with, that you are speaking to, that you are guiding, whatever it might be. You need preparation. So the truth is, you need to prepare in order to be successful in life. Drop the ego, do what it does to do what you do to prepare in order to plan on being successful. That's what it's all about. If you don't plan to do anything, you will not be successful, and your ego can and will get in the way. Don't let it get in the way. I Personal experience, there's been times where I'm like, oh, I've been able to, I've spoken, play. I just give me 20 minutes and I'll speak. And if I don't really prepare, it's not going to be very good. It's mediocre. But if I want to be great, you have to prepare. Don't let your ego get in the way of preparation. And then ultimately, in the moment, don't let your ego get in the way of what you're trying to convey to people. Period. That's what I got for you guys. God bless. I'm going to look at some comments because a little later we actually have more people watching at night. Maybe I should do this. What's going on, brother? Chaotic Truth in the building. See, it's an evening. I've got a whole different crowd for my daily truth. We had like 9,300 people watching for our stream during the thing. I'm a Trump voter. Told my husband I was disappointed. Gut feeling. Yeah. And here's the last thing I'll say, and I'll go back to the debate on this, is I was on Stacey on the Right after our live stream. I talked to her and I was listening to some of the callers. I did some radio the next day, and the call-ins from the Trump side that were just like, of course he won the debate. He's going to get more voters from it. It's like, wow. I mean, we do not think with a discerning mind very often. Anybody that can get rid of the bias in their brain cannot say that Trump won that debate. They can't. He just didn't come up. Now, does that mean that me or most people will not vote for him? No, he's still going to have our vote. That's the thing. It's not about us. It's not about the Kamala voters. It's about the independents. James Carville said, when you do a debate, it's not about making your base vote for you. They're already voting for you. Nobody's going to go from, definitely nobody went from a Kamala Harris voter. Kamala, am I pronouncing it right? I don't want to get yelled at. Kamala. Nobody's going from a Kamala Harris voter to a Trump voter. Nobody on that was going from a Trump voter to a Kamala voter. Now the independents, that 10% is what's important. The swing states, that's what's important. That's what you're fighting for. That's what you're playing for. So he appeared to win with who? The independents? He didn't. Anybody that says that is on the Trump camp. CNN showed that clip. I think that if you want my truth on the clip that CNN showed of that woman that was supposedly an independent, and saying that she was now voting for Trump, I think that's bait for Trump to not do a second debate, because he was already leaning like, I don't want to do it. And he said today that he wasn't doing one. He needs to do a second debate. And if there's enough evidence on leftist networks that think he won, because I guarantee you nobody watching that was going, oh, Yeah, yeah, maybe I feel like she does. No, people on that side, they didn't care. They thought that she probably was a plant or she was insane. The big thing is here's why it's so important. And it's like people say, well, Trump shouldn't have to say this. Trump shouldn't have to disavow this. Trump shouldn't have to. Here, there was almost 100 million people watching the debate. The people that watch Fox News already know some of these things. Newsmax, they know some of these things. This is why debate's important. Stick close to me for this second. The people on the left only see what they see. They only see the mainstream media, legacy media, whatever it is. This debate is your chance to inform the country. Like the other thing that he didn't talk, that he didn't articulate well, he didn't go into when they talked about the felonies. Explain better. Like explain it to the people watching why those 34 felonies are garbage. He stumbled over it, didn't really get through it. It's super simple. You bring up my felonies, you can call me a criminal, but these were misdemeanor charges that they couldn't actually convict on, so they never pushed it. And then Alvin Bragg, who ran on trying to destroy me, that's how he got into office in a predominantly liberal leftist part of New York City. That's how he got in. He found a way to take expired, extinct charges that were misdemeanors past their point of expiration. The only way that he can rekindle them was by making him felonies and then put a judge in that had ties to the actual Kamala Harris and Joe Biden campaign. It's very simple. It should have never been anything but a misdemeanor, and it never could have been convicted before. So how do you bring it now? I just did that in under a minute. Who am I? These are things that you need to tell the American people that have never heard it before. I think him and a lot of the Trumpers just go, everybody knows this. We should all know this. We all live in our echo chambers. You know, the one moment we're out of our echo chamber, the debate. That's the moment. That's when you have to inform and educate the viewer, the middle grounders. It was such a miss to me. And if you are one of those people that are like, how can you not see that Trump won? I just encourage you. It's not me, and this is not me slamming Trump. This is not me saying don't vote for Trump at all. Far from it. This is me saying we should be very honest with ourselves and say that was not a good performance, and it just made the race even closer. Um, be honest. Try to be unbiased. Be better than the other side. So, God bless, guys. Have a great evening. We have way more. I should do these maybe at night. Then I don't have to be so strict at the 8 a.m. I'm kidding. The 8 a.m. is for me. God bless, guys. Do you want my opinion on the Springfield situation? Does anybody want that? Does anybody want? I can give you 1 minute breakdown. If somebody says yes, I'll do that to wrap up my 5 minutes or less. That's 13 minutes. Does anybody want me to give my educated? Okay, Casey wants to hear it. Of course, Casey wants to. Okay. So here's the deal. I've watched a lot of video, and I pride myself on my ability to read people and read messages. So what I read out of and when I read out of the different things, I've seen interviews with Haitians, I've seen interviews with the locals, I've seen the community kind of where things are. Springfield has different levels: poverty, middle class, upper middle class is kind of where it plateaus. And the thing is this, I think the upper middle class and middle class, the upper middle class is very small there, but middle class, I don't think that they really see what's going on. They're separated from it. They know some of the issues when it comes to driving, which is the big ones. Driving dangerously, 90% of accidents, these are legitimate things with the Haitians. They're when they get interviewed at the DMV, like, well, how are you getting licenses? They're like, well, we can't answer these questions. There's something going on there where something about Springfield, they were able to go there. It is the actual migrant crisis is huge. Can't call them illegals because they found a way to give them legal visas. They do not treat that area the way that they don't treat that area the way that Americans treat property. I'm not saying Americans treat property great, but they treat it like the third world country they came from. They throw trash everywhere. They do different things. They let things overflow. It's a different culture. And unfortunately, the people of that city do not like it. The people that are more blue that are city planners, they'll say, well, the economy's better. The economy's not better. But you've got people that they get what you can't tell. I can't tell you. They're able to live. A lot of them are able to live for free. and they're getting a little bit of government assistance. It's seemingly less than what is being reported. That's just from what I found. It might be 500, 600 on food stamps a month. Some people have said 300. And then there is the stipends that they're getting. It does eventually run out if they get a job. Some of them are working at warehouses. Ultimately, crime has not been the issue. Driving accidents, because none of them speak English. They either speak French, or I think most of them speak French. Some do speak Spanish. The driving is terrible. The amount of benefits to those that probably deserve the benefits, like there's been veterans that have been interviewed. A lot of the black people from the town that are a little bit older and try to get on benefits are having trouble. The lines are very long. It's being overrun. There's not enough people to help for certain things. So the Americans that should be getting the help from the government can't get it because the Haitians are getting it, and there's just more of them, an influx. So like I said, the middle class only sees some of the driving accidents. The lower class is in the same places as the Haitians, so they're seeing them move in. The lower class is becoming more and more racist by the day, even though it's not about black and white. It's about Haitian and white, and it just so happens that they're black, so it's got that culture shock. The animal situation. Truth, we know of a guy carrying a goose, and we know of a woman in Canton, Ohio, that was high Haitian and eating a cat. This is what we have confirmation of. The rest is all hearsay. It's a friend of a friend. Oh, my neighbor. There's people that say I have a bunch of cats, but I only have a couple now. Oh, I saw a guy with a Haitian with a van full of cats. It's it's vague. The pictures of the supposed hanging cats, hanging dogs, whatever it is, there's no evidence of it. So, like most people that follow me know, I like to wait until I get better evidence. Now, is it part of some of their cultures? I've seen Haitians that are speaking out saying, like, yeah, if you get into the voodoo thing, even leftist politician Marianne Williamson talked about voodoo. She said voodoo is a devilish religion, I guess religion, whatever you want to call it. And they practice, and what they do is they sacrifice animals. So is it possible? Yes. There has been people that have said they know people, they have friends. Until there is more evidence, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying that at all. The fact that Facebook is banning anybody saying it is true makes me believe more and more that it's actually true, to be totally honest. But until I see more evidence, I can't go on that. Now, I think that's a distraction. That is a distraction from what is really important. What is really important is the fact that it is an overwhelming amount of Haitian migrants that are in a town of 60,000, that now there's over 20,000 migrants that have piled on to it. And they are, because when they get there, they don't have any jobs. Some of them do end up getting jobs. They are using up all the benefits of those people in that community that needs them, the food stamps, etc. The grocery stores, the Walmarts, they're out of product, they're out of groceries, they're out of all these different things, because they're being used up by the people that are getting government funding, government assistance to go buy them. And it's not an area that typically gets a lot. That should be fixed by the city planners to find a way to make sure that the Walmart in that area and the Walmarts, they should be able to figure out how to get more food and whatever. But it is a big problem. But I think we're being distracted by the animal thing, me included in the beginning. Granted, I do love all the memes with the cats and the t-shirts and all that stuff. So if you want my breakdown, that's what it is. The evidence that one woman who is crazy eating a cat, as sad as it is and disgusting, everybody knows how big of an animal lover I am. One instance is an outlier. It's the same as when people say, "Oh, I just, white supremacy because there's one Nazi that lives in one neighborhood and all of a sudden it speaks to the whole." I can't have that as my belief system. I can't. So that's my just personal belief. Is immigrate now is mass illegal immigration a huge problem in our country? Absolutely. 100%. Can't even fight that. Let's not focus on the cats and the geese until there's more evidence of it. Let's focus on the fact that these people are having their insurance rates rise because there's so many accidents in their city because nobody knows how to drive, and somehow the DMV is protecting the Haitians that have immigrated to that area. All right, that's my 2 cents. Hope that helped anybody. So God bless, guys. Gotta get way more viewers at night. God bless. Don't surrender your pets. Don't be a garbage human being. And if you surrender your pets on the side of the road and it's in Ohio, who knows what's going to happen? That's it.